How are you doing? My name is Joseph Kirema, and today I come up with a topic. I've called it stress and how to beat it. You know, like that song that says, "Just beat it, just beat it." And I come to understand that Paul says that be anxious of nothing, be anxious of nothing, and so anxiety comes from anxiety is the difference between anxiety and stress is that anxiety is more of a emotional, but stress is external. It may come from things like fear of exams, maybe fear of people and all that. But anxiety is it's internal, and we're going to look at a few things. So buckle up and let's learn together. Now, anxiety is more common than you might think. It affects one in 3 people, which means a good number of people are dealing with similar problems. Researchers know that a mix of nature, that is your genetic, and nurture, your environment, influences how, when, and why anxiety shows up. So yet we know that stressful life events like a big move, a parent's divorce, or a breakup can also play a big role. So some anxiety is good to us. There's some good type of worry. There's even a physical response to we do, like our bodies will do. It's called fight, flight, or freeze. This response sets up to defend ourselves, to escape, or to stop, to think of a deer in headlights when faced with an outside threat. It's an instinct that's kept our species alive for generations. But this same instinct can become a problem when the fight, flight, freeze response goes off too often without any real danger triggers. Okay, so anxiety will creep in, and your body will, when you sometimes let's say you have a phobia for spiders. So when you see that spider, your body just responds. There's a way your body will respond, and you just feel. Sometimes some people will just freeze, and their knees will be shaking. Some people will be sweaty. Some people go even to a point of, I'm afraid to say that some people even pee on themselves. Why? Because of the things they go through. Why am I black and white? I don't know the reason why. So something is wrong with my audio. I'll just record, and then if it's also good, we'll delete it. So, and there are different types of anxieties. One is generalized anxiety. We're going to check on different types of anxieties. This one called agoraphobia. Agoraphobia is people who avoid people, uncomfortable places. And then there's different kind of phobias. Like there are people who fear some animals. Some people fear storms or bad weather. I've met somebody who when it comes to the rain, they fear the rain. That was so unique. Some people fear dark. Some people fear high places. Some people just fear things, objects like needles, whatever, or knives. Like there's someone who scares me with a knife, because one day I saw someone when I was maybe in my teenage. I saw someone being stabbed on the thigh, and that thing has always triggered in my mind. I just remember that. I don't know why. It's like I have no color. I don't have color. I don't know why. Okay, this is social anxiety. People who sometimes you may get nervous around people you do not know. It's hard for you to talk to people you do not know well. You say I'm shy. That could create some, we could say it's social anxiety. You feel nervous going to parties or people you don't know so well. There are people who have found such kind of people that tense so much when they have people whom they do not know. My video. Somebody touched my stuff. Also, there's something called separation anxiety. Separation anxiety is that you could be scared to sleep away from home, prefer to stay close to your parents, or worry about something that happened to your parents, some such kind of things. So there are different kinds of anxieties, panic attacks. Somebody could just be feeling sick, yet nothing is wrong. And then you feel frightened out of nothing, out of the blue. And then some people, when they're nervous, it's hard for them to breathe. They feel like passing out. You feel like you're out of control. You feel like going crazy. Your heart beats faster. You become shaky. You sweat a lot. Feel like choking or feel dizzy. This is another panic. It's called panic attacks. And there are people like who sometimes it's diagnosed and they're given some meds for calming that down. And then there's OCD, which is obsessive compulsive disorder. So this happens to people who are bothered by obsessive thoughts that they can't get rid of, like worries that someone is dirty or have germs on them, or someone who will get hurt because of something they did or did not do, or that they'll do something shocking. I've met people that say that they are seeing that the world will end tomorrow, or somebody says that some ghosts are coming, or somebody is coming to get them, and yet there's no one. We find people doing such kind of things or believing such kind of things, and that becomes a normal thing to them. They become so obsessive with such kind of things. So generalized anxiety disorder is when you worry excessively about everyday things like home, school, or friends. These worries are difficult to control. You may expect the worst of situation or organize more than others. So hii hofu ni ile kwamba unakuwa na hofu ya vitu ambazo zitatendeka, labda mambo ya nyumbani, labda unafikiria kama sasa unaweza kwa uko pale mbali na wazazi na unafikiria tu kitu mbaya inatendeka, kama labda mtu ni mgonjwa, brother yako ni mgonjwa, sister yako ni mgonjwa, such kind of things. This is such social anxiety that I spoke about. It's a fear of being negatively judged or rejected by other people. You worry so much about what people think about you. And some people go to an extent of trying to be what the society says or what fashion says. Like I've seen some men, they'll do a picture and they have to show a watch. They have to show, like, even when you're posting, you have to show your watch. You have to show like you have to show, like, so you want to show people that you are in fashion. You have the latest kind of shoes, like you have the latest Nike. You have the latest Nike shoes. You have the latest maybe FUBU. You have the latest Kalkani, whatever. During my times, it used to be Kalkani or FUBU or Jordans. You have the latest. So you try to fit in with the society. I don't just understand what happened to my video. Let's listen to a song before I...
Mchungaji wangu Yesu ndiye mchungaji wangu, sipunguki na kitu. Kwenye majani mabichi hunilaza, kando ya maji matulivu hunongoza. Japopita kati ya bonde la uvuli wa mauti, sitahofu mabaya yeyote, kwa maana upamoja nami siku zote za maisha yangu. Japopita kati ya bonde la uvuli wa mauti, sitahofu mabaya yeyote, kwa maana upamoja nami siku zote za maisha yangu. Waandaa meza mbele yangu,
Maybe I'll work on the video later. There's also something called separation anxiety, is a fear of being away from people close to you. You typically your parents. You might get anxious or just the thought of not being with them, or imagine that the worst is will happen while you're apart. Also, phobias like intense fear of specific situations, often to the point of being irrational, because the fear does not match the reality of the threat. You get that? This kind of people typically focus on animals, insect germs, and extreme weather, like I said, or in closed spaces. Well, it's normal to feel uncomfortable with this situation. Most people can face them and go about their lives. With these phobias, you may go out of your way to completely avoid these uncomfortable situations, even if you realize the fear is irrational. So somebody will just say, I saw a spider, and that maybe is just something that looks like it, but is not it. So panic attacks are physical manifestation of anxieties, where sudden physical manifestation of anxiety, where sudden, intense, and uncomfortable physical sensations make you feel like you're having a heart attack or going crazy. After having one panic attack, you may become fearful or having more, which is the hallmark of panic disorder. When fear of these panic attacks is so crippling that you stop going to something like school or leaving a house, it will only go to places with and someone will just go only to places with specific people. That's called agoraphobia. And the other one is obsessive compulsive disorder, or OCD. Some of us have worked with such kind of people. The thoughts that stick in their head and cause distress. For example, that chair is teeming with germs. There's somebody who just be careful, like, oh, this thing has germs. And those kind of people that do have a particular thought, and that thought is part of them, and you cannot convince them otherwise. They know that is what they believe in, and inside their thought, that is what it is. So the thoughts become so obsessive that you feel you must do something. Say, avoid the chair and wash your hands. So this behavior becomes a point where it's called compassion. While compulsive behavior makes you feel better in the short term, it can actually lead to more obsessions that only make someone more anxious, causing them to engage in even more compulsive behaviors. So we're going to learn about something called CBT. And this is cognitive behavioral therapy. This is one way of you becoming your own therapist. Before you go to a therapist, for those who are normal, you go to a point of becoming your own therapist. This is a set of skills designed to change the thoughts, the cognitive part, and actions, the behavior patterns. So two things. It helps you to change the thought, the cognitive part, and action, behavior patterns that get in the way of living a full and healthy life. The aim of this therapy, or cognitive behavioral therapy, is to help you become your own therapist. And the skills are practical, goal-oriented, and can be practiced every day. So have you ever noticed that when you're anxious about something, your thoughts are everywhere but here. You fret about the past, or about how things could go wrong in the future. Mindfulness helps focus your attention on whatever you are doing right now and in the present moment, instead of thinking about your worrying about tomorrow, which you have no control of. Instead of worrying about things that maybe happened in the past, you don't have to do that. So acceptance strategies help you cope with and even accept uncomfortable situations or emotions that you can't control or change. Acceptance strategies help you to cope with and even accept uncomfortable situations or situations that you cannot control or change. While this may seem counterintuitive, since the anxiety you experience is exactly what you're trying to escape, it's actually that the desire to escape the present moment that often causes the anguish. You want to escape the present. Let's say maybe you lost some keys. You try to avoid meeting the boss. Maybe you got late. You try to evade that. Focusing your full attention on the present and accepting your discomfort can help you realize that the thing you're trying to get away from is not as overwhelming as you thought it would. Like, let's say at work you made a mistake and you become like, maybe you could be written up. Sometimes you find that situation and you try to avoid the work, or you just call in. You just tell them that I cannot come to work. Why? Because you believe that something is going to happen to you that is wrong. But it's a high time we think and we face the situation, even if it's hard. You face the situation. Oh, I solved the video. It's colored now. Yay! But something is still wrong. I don't know what happened. My video is kind of wrong. Not wrong. Okay. Let's listen to a song one more time.
Machoni pa watesi wangu, umenipaka mafuta kichwani, kikombe changu kinatiririka. Japopita kati ya bonde la uvuli wa mauti, sitahofu mabaya yeyote, kwa maana upamoja nami siku zote za maisha yangu. Japopita kati ya bonde la uvuli wa mauti, sitahofu mabaya yeyote, kwa maana upamoja nami siku zote za maisha yangu. Hakika wema na fadhili zanifuata siku zote za maisha yangu, nami nitakaa nyumbani.
So let's continue. Check 1 2. So you must put a plan in place where you begin to face your fears and overcome those events. So whatever thing that makes you to be afraid, you have to have a tool overcoming it. Let's say it's something that you fear, maybe from your past, or things that are happening to you. You have to face those you have to face that kind of whatever is making you to be anxious. You have to overcome it. Now coming to scriptures, Bible says that in Isaiah 41 verse 10, it says, fear not, nor be dismayed. I am the Lord, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I am the Lord, I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So when the Lord is by your side, he says that when the Lord is on my side, whom shall I be afraid of? So we need to know that God has placed us to overcome those things. And Jesus says that who by worrying can change their status quo. You by worrying, what will you change? One of my friends used to say that that already things have been decided. It could have been a good one or a bad one, a bad thought. But it's like you could say that things are already decided. I don't know why my video is black and white. I don't understand. So they could not understand. They could say that, my friend could say that it's already been decided. The worst, if the worst will happen, let it happen. So they had a point, but there are things we can do. Something I told myself is that I have to be strong myself. I have to take care of me so that I can be able to overcome that anxiety, so that I can be able to overcome fear, so that I can be able to overcome those feelings, those inner feelings that I feel. There's somebody I talk to many times. I won't say their names, but every time they say I'm bored. You ask them how is school, they say school is just school. Come on, enjoy the little bits of life. Enjoy the little bit of life, the nitty-gritties. So how do you climb a step? By taking one step at a time. You don't go like jumping three steps. You might hurt your back. The book I was reading was saying that you take one ramp at a time. So you take one step at a time as you go up the stairs. So enjoy the moment, enjoy where you are at now, enjoy the things, enjoy nature, go feel the breeze. If the trees are swinging and swaying and the birds are singing, enjoy that moment. Some people don't have some people don't have time to experience that. Like here in Alaska, it's a lot of many dark months. I think the other days when they were going to experience a bit of sunlight. I saw such an article, maybe a clip. They have moments like many months of darkness. So learn to enjoy the moment. Listen, this you have something you can rejoice. You have something that you can enjoy. You have something that you can be happy about. So don't just look on the negativity of life, that we are so much worried about the economy, we are so much worried about the President Ruto, we are so much worried about Trump, and the media guys, they'll make the news be negative to a point where you always see deaths. Like right now, these girls are being killed everywhere, they're being slaughtered, they're being butchered everywhere. So that fills you, and you start to have that kind of fear and anxiety. So, and when anxiety creeps in, when that emotional thing comes to a point, sometimes it germinates to stress, and that cripples you, that makes you, I believe even depression will come later on when such things come. And that person, you find to a point that somebody just cannot, if they have a beard, they cannot clean it, they cannot trim it. You're there, you can sleep the whole day. You can either oversleep or not sleep. You have no sleep. You become you have insomnia creeps in. And sometimes some chronic pain will start coming in. Your muscles are tense. People have anxiety. Sometimes their palms will just be sweating for nothing. And then the breathing, the heartbeat rises up. You see? So, some houses have something they call smoke alarms, and smoke alarms provide an important signal to leave the house or put out a fire. So, in those houses, for those who are privileged to have houses that have smoke alarms, the smoke alarms will just tell you that there's a danger if that situation is not handled well. Like sometimes if something is burnt, the alarm will start go and it's so noisy to a point where you cannot avoid it. You cannot avoid it. So it goes to a point where you cannot avoid it. So it tells you, go check on your pot. Maybe something is burning. One day we had gone for an outing. I'd purposed to make my family like some good meal, some good grilled chicken and all that. You know, the one you put your best spices. I like lemon pepper spice. So I really done it, and some soy sauce sometimes. And then I said, because the weather, we had stayed for quite a while without getting some good weather. So when the weather was good, I rushed to take my daughter to the park, and so we went. So when we went to the park, I did some good time. Also, my wife was not in the house; they were also in that park because there was an event going on. It's called the Lakewood Festival Festival. Lakewood Fest, I can't remember the name, festival, let's just say that. And so we had some time, so I thought we'll just take like 10-15 minutes, then be back. Then I stayed and I stayed like for maybe like some hours. So when we came back, now we were all four of us coming to the house. There was also an extra person. So as we are coming, there's a person outside our house, and he's like trying to say, who's there, something, are you okay? So, and then when I came in and I had the smoke alarm, it was so like, and I knew, I just remembered I left something in the oven. When I came in, the house was full of smoke. So I opened and then ran to the oven and just got it was the foil, the metallic, the trays that are foil like. And then the the chicken had cooked, and then it had overcooked, and now because of the oil, some of the oil had leaked. That thing had cooked until to a point, because of the oil getting hot, and then it had started dropping to that oven now, and it had started a flame. And also on the on the chicken, they had cooked and to a point where they had become like burnt offering. So at that time the whole house is cloudy, and so the smoke was heavy. So when we were coming, that man, and I thank God because he never called 911 at first, because he waited. So because we could have paid a big amount of money. So I took I got in, placed something on my nose, then took the tray and went put it outside. And then we took some towels and started blowing like what do you call it? Serving them to the smoke detectors and tried to put out the smoke. And we opened the windows and all that to allow fresh air to come in. It took some time, and that situation took quite some time. Even like the house was smelling of those burnt offerings. It was smelling and all that. So why the smoke alarm or the smoke detector was telling us that something, if it had continued, the house could have caught fire. So I was just blessed that someone was there, and they were there, and to say things, or just to check in case there was a fire. Maybe it was ready, in case he has seen a full-blown fire. That's when he could have called the 911 guys, or the fire brigade, as some of us call them. Now there are things that your body tells you. Maybe when you're in that moment of fight, flight, or freeze, your body tells you that something is not going on. Sometimes, like today, I had a headache, and I know that headache is telling me something. And I went and they checked me up. There's nothing wrong. So I just realized that it's just that some things I'm tensing about. Something happened in my working place. Maybe I'll come to share with you later. But it's just some things that I'm anxious about. Some anxiety, some things that. But God says, the word says, do not be anxious of anything, but in everything, in prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known to God. So when you come to believers, our anxieties, anything that we fear, has to be shared to the Lord. Amen. So we are going to be continuing with this topic, and you're going to be seeing different things and different ways to overcome them, and you're going to be learning a lot. So for now, because I plan to be here for 30 minutes, so we are going to be learning more. Maybe the next topic we're gonna be looking at how we can deal with those emotions, how we can deal with them, how those thought patterns. You're going to see the triggers of anxiety. We're going to see how to stay on track. We're going to see how you can track anxiety. We're going to see how you can monitor your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. We're going to see at what are the consequences. We're going to see all those things. So you're going to also to look at how the mind and the body connects. We're going to look at different things, and they're going to be helpful to us. Yep. So a lot of people are in anxiety today. Like sometimes some people will just come to a point where they just start to eat a lot, or they start to do things, or you oversleep. Why? Because your body you're so anxious about things. So I pray to God that God will help you and will help us to overcome this thing. Father, I thank you and I bless you for your good, and your mercies endureth forever. Receive the glory, receive the honor. There is none like you. No God beside you. No name like your name. No place like in your presence, O God. None is like unto you. None is as worthy as you are. Receive the glory, receive the honor. Be thou glorified. Be thou lifted up. Worthy is your name. Worthy to be praised, worthy to be glorified. Be thou glorified. Be thou glorified. Lord, no one is suffering from anxiety. May they overcome it in the name of Jesus. I thank you that your love and the rest forever, that your mercies are new every day. Thank you, Lord, for Jesus. that you went through everything, that you will make things that you are facing. Lord, that you went, you are beaten, you are betrayed, you were rejected, you are pinned by the spirit of they placed a crown of thorns on your head. The Lord for glory, so that our minds may be alert and be sober. Even the things that are not good to you, negativity, all kinds of negativity, I pray in your name that you help us, that Lord, we may overcome all kinds of adversity in the name of Jesus. I give you praise and I give you glory. You're worthy of all praise. You're worthy of all honor. You're worthy of all adoration. And now may the grace of the Lord and the love of God and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. We'll continue with this topic tomorrow. God bless you.